Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've posted a video on this channel. I think it's only been maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but that just feels like an eternity. And also it's been even longer than that since we've had a chance to sit down and have a chat. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Today in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some life updates, some project updates, some channel updates, and more. So buckle in because we've got a lot of fun things to talk about. So let's start with my biggest update, my biggest change, which is changing careers. For the last 4 years, I have been building for myself a business through crafting, through scrapbooking. And while it has been so satisfying and just something that I am super proud of myself for doing, it's also had some drawbacks for me that makes it harder to keep doing it long term, to keep it sustainable over years and years and years. Some of that is that it's really hard to make a substantial income from this type of job without putting in so much work that I have to sacrifice everything else, meaning my family and my home and all of those types of things. And I'm just not willing to do that. So financially, I knew I needed to look at something different and go back to something where I made a more substantial income. Aside from that, I also wanted to make a change where I have stronger boundaries between work and the rest of my life, and especially between work and then creating or participating in scrapbooking where it can still feel like fun and not work. And that's been something that's been really hard to create some definition between. And then aside from all of the crafting stuff, to then also have the separation between all of that and then spending time with my family and taking care of my home. So for me, I needed to make a change. I needed to readjust some priorities to still find a way where I can have a job and bring in some income, but that also allows me the space and the time to still participate in my crafty community, to still have somewhat of a side hustle associated to it as well, but most importantly of all, to be able to create the boundaries between all of that and allowing me the time and the space to be with my family as much as I possibly can while we still have the kids home, and just doing what we can to really build up those relationships. So I'm going through a career change. In the month of May, so actually starting just a couple days ago, I have started a new job through Edward Jones. Edward Jones, for those of you who don't know about the company, have never heard of it before, is a finance and investment company, which is also something that I am incredibly passionate about. I feel very passionately about securing our personal finances, helping others to do the same, and then creating wealth so that as we live our lives, we can do so in a way that feels good for all of us, and that also creates wealth that we can create as a legacy for those to come after us. So I'm really excited to join Edward Jones and to help clients in the area for where I live, to help them achieve their own personal financial goals as well. So I'm going to be essentially an office manager. My title is a branch office associate, and I'm partnering with a friend of mine who is a financial advisor to build our practice together. And I feel so blessed, I feel so excited, and I also feel so grateful that it allows me to have the time to be able to still do the things I want to do as a mom, but I can also still participate in the crafting community, and I can still help to build community here as well, just not as much as I was able to before. So that is the biggest thing. The biggest thing is that I'm changing careers. But what is that going to mean for everything that I have created over the last 4 years? There are a couple of places, a handful of places, where I have been creating projects in the past that I am not going to be creating projects there anymore. The biggest one here is for Ali Edwards Design Inc. As many of you know, I participated on the Ali Edwards design team in 2020 and 2021. Trying to remember if it was 2 years or it was 2 years. It was 2020 and 2021. And then in 2022, I took on a bigger role where I was creating content inside of many of the classrooms. I have also been a part of the One Little Word instructor team. And then this year in 2022, starting at the beginning of the year, my role grew even a little bit larger. With the change to this new career, I am letting a lot of that go. I will not be participating in creating class material anymore, so you won't see any more lessons from me in the story classroom or the Inspiration by the Month classroom, or doing any of the lives through Facebook or the Instagram story chats. Those are all most likely going to go to other people in the crafting community, which is equally super cool. It allows other people to have a voice in what's happening through the Ali Edwards Designing Company. And I'm really excited to see, who comes in to fill the places and what kind of stories and what kind of creativity we can see from the people who will be there. It just won't be me. For Ali Edwards Design Inc., I'm staying on the One Little Word instructor team. So you will still see me there, but that's pretty much going to be it when it comes to that company. I am also currently on the Studio Calico design team or creative team, and I'm going to remain on that team as well. So you'll continue to see a couple of projects each month that I create with the Studio Calico products. So most likely you'll see those through Instagram, but you'll also definitely see some of the Studio Calico products making their way into the projects that I'm going to share here on YouTube as well. So those are the two design team, two companies that I'm still somewhat partnering with in some kind of way. So the creative team and the One Little Word instructor team. Aside from that, I am still going to be sharing here on YouTube, just paring it back even more than I already do. We'll talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. And then I'm also still hosting my Patreon, and the perks and everything that's been available on Patreon is not changing aside from a time change. That's really the only thing that I had to adjust. So, and we'll talk more about what Patreon is all about, what you can find there in case you're looking for a crafting community, but we'll do that towards the end of this video. So next, let's talk about channel updates. So what's going to be happening here on YouTube? As you all know, who have been here since January, I have been testing out some different types of content creation just to see, do I like this? Do I enjoy it? Is it easy to make? Is it hard to make? Yada, 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 so on, so on, so on, so on, right? So the videos that I have tried making over the year so far have been a day in the life style video. So one where I took you with me for a day and kind of showed you what I do on a daily basis. I did a room makeover for my daughter. I did an organization video where we reorganized my crafty cart together. And then I also did a series of videos about recommendations for things you can do as a family for the season of spring. So that's 4 different types of videos that I generally post on this channel. Part of that was just to test things out and to mix it up and try something new. Part of it was to see if I felt like continuing to make any of those types of videos into the future. I can tell you that all of those videos are so much harder and more time consuming to make than process videos, my journal videos. I'm trying to think what else I would normally do. Chatty videos. They're so much harder to make. They are so much more time consuming, and therefore you will probably not see those types of videos here anymore. With a caveat, and I'll get to that in just a moment as well. So this channel, this Krystal Idunate YouTube channel is going to host 2 different kinds of videos for the most part. And that's going to be scrapbooking videos. So we will be doing my monthly, what is it called? I'm like, what is my project called? My monthly 2023 yearbook project. So I've already shared 2, a January and a February video where we did a process for about 4 different layouts, and then I shared the full flip through of the month. That is going to be a video that will continue through the end of the year. So I will put every month on this channel. We'll do some process videos or some layouts at the beginning and then flip through the pages. So you'll see that whole project come to fruition throughout the course of the year. The other type of video that I'm going to continue sharing here is my daily journal setup videos. So that's just taking you through the themes, setting up the title page, and then doing a flip through of the weekly pages to come later, so the sketches. And then you will also see the shorts on my channel. So I will continue sharing the Project Life shorts, and I will continue sharing the weekly daily journal layout shorts. So you'll see all of those projects still here on this channel. And that's really where I'm going to pretty much cap it, is at the 2 longer style videos and then the shorts intermixed in between. If, and this is a big if, I end up having more time, more inspiration, more anything, where I want to share additional videos, then I might do that. I might still share some flip throughs of completed projects. If and when I have completed projects to share, I may do some shorter process videos. I may do some, I still have it to do a studio tour for all of you. Hopefully this summer. It's again, studio tours it's a very complex video to film. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I haven't like gotten the motivation to do it at this point, but it will happen this year. It will happen this year. I will do a studio tour organization type video. So when I have a chance to film those and share those, I will. But for now, I want to only commit to the 1 scrapbooking video and the 1 journal video for each month. If we have more, awesome. If not, it'll be okay. But that's where I'm at here with videos. Now, the caveat that I mentioned earlier about the other videos that I filmed and giving different types of content a try is that one thing I really did love, or I did enjoy, was filming the day in the life vlog style video. Even the organization video was a fun one too. And so I'm contemplating still filming vlog style videos. I don't have any frame of how often or what, I have some ideas of things I want to talk about in those types of videos, but they would go onto a different channel. I have started this different channel, but there's absolutely 0 videos on the channel currently. And it's just going to be called Krystal Idunate Vlogs. So if you enjoy the vlog style of videos, then I would recommend giving that channel a follow. Again, I'm not scheduling myself. I'm not giving myself deadlines for putting videos on that channel. It'll just be one of those things that's when I feel like it, I will do it. And if it ends up being something that I can learn how to create quicker, so it doesn't take me hours and hours to make those videos, then I might film them more regularly. But at this point, it's just going to be a for funsie kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, give that channel a follow. I'll link it in the description for you as well. Things that I'm thinking about putting there are, day in the life, week in the life-ish type of videos, book reviews or book reading recaps. I have a couple of other journals that I am interested in creating. I don't know yet if I would share them here or if I would share them there. I want to do a reading journal, but that might be on the other channel. I'm not sure yet. Things are very muddled. I'm thinking this channel though is just gonna be scrapbooking in the daily journal, and everything else can go over there for if and when I feel like making it. But let me see if I had any other types. Reading, yep. Oh, planning, organization, like meal. I've had questions about meal planning. I have questions about like our daily routines. That kind of stuff I would share over on the vlog channel, not necessarily here, but this was a good starting grounds for figuring out what I can make, what is fun to make, and answering those types of questions. So thank you to all of you who that is not your thing and you've stuck around and bared with me while I tried out those videos. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you for letting me guinea pig that kind of stuff on you. And if you did watch it, thank you for watching it and giving it a shot and just letting me test things out. It was fun. It was fun, and it was definitely a learning experience. That's for sure. A good one, but a learning experience. Okay, so next is project updates. I'm not making a ton of changes to the projects that I am making this year. The biggest one, the one that I'm most committed to completing is the 2023 yearbook album, which is really a series of albums. I've also had questions about this album and how many actual books I think it's going to take to do the whole year. At the rate I am going, it's going to take 6. So about 2 months per album. And that is, it is a lot of books and it is a lot of pages. So I'm thinking about 2024 and what I want to do for 2024 to make it so that I do not have 6 of these for 1 year. But I have some ideas. That is, to be determined. To be determined for real what I'm going to do. Towards the end of the year, I will let you in on my plans for 2024 when I have a more concrete idea of what it is I want to do. But I also don't think that 6 of these every year is it's not sustainable. I can do it for 1 year. I'm going to do it for 1 year. But next year it will be something different. Well, that is to be determined, TBD. But this year I'm going to continue doing the yearbook. If you don't know what the yearbook is, it is my combination of Project Life and story albums, so larger stories where it's larger pictures that are helping me and longer journaling to help me tell one deeper story. And I'm generally doing about 2 for each week. I have young kids. We have a lot going on every single week. It's just life is very, very busy right now. So 2 stories a week is very doable. It just creates a lot of pages and bulk in my albums. So, I don't necessarily want to reduce the amount of stories I'm telling. I just want to find a way to reduce the size and the thickness of what it is I'm creating. So, Project Life and story albums combined together in 6x8 albums. That is my 2023 yearbook album. For Week in the Life just happened a couple weeks ago in April. It might even been a week ago in April, and I chose not to participate in that particular week. For me, the end of April is kind of an ugly month here in Michigan. It's gray, raining, dead. It's not a fun time. Last year, I documented for 2022 Week in the Life in the month of June with the community, and I loved it. I loved documenting a summer week. I know you don't necessarily get the change of all the school schedules and that kind of stuff, but there's something really special to me about being able to capture intimately this week where we are all together for practically the whole day of every day. And I want to do that again. So this year, my tentative plan is to document Week in the Life the last week of June. Now for my actual album, I'm considering going digital. I would like to go digital and have a book printed rather than, going through the process of creating a craftier, more, bulkier type of book. I want to try digital. And one of the things I'm considering is creating for myself templates that I can then repeat, maybe the same set of, I don't know, 5 to 10 different layouts, and then add in my pictures, add in my journaling. I can use some digital embellishments, those types of things to create my pages, and then have the book printed by maybe Blurb Books or Shutterfly or some kind of company that can print it and send it here. So if and when I do that and I create these templates for this Week in the Lifestyle project, that is likely something that I will then add into my Etsy shop as a purchasable product that then you could repeat if that's something that you want to try, whether it's for a Week in the Lifestyle of project or just a summer project or who knows. But I figure if I'm going to make it for myself, I might as well, and if it's really cool and I like it as much as I think I'm going to, then I might as well offer it for all of you if that's something you're interested in as well. Which brings me to the templates, so digital templates. As many of you know, maybe all of you know, I have created digital templates this year for the Project Lifestyle pages that I'm adding into my 6x8 album. Those are created to be outside of the page protector, so they are 7 by 8.25, so you can hole punch and put them into a book. I have had requests for lots of different sizes, and I still have it as a goal to create pages in different sizes. So I want to do one that's a 6x8 that just slips into a pocket. I've had requests for 9x12, and I'd also like to do a 10x8. But with time constraints and changes and everything going on, I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and make those. Know that that's still on my list of things to do. It will be done this year, but I can't necessarily give you a for sure date of when, because life is just really crazy and there's just a lot going on. So bear with me on that. But it is something that I have as a to-do. It is something that I do want to create. So eventually that will happen. Eventually that will happen. I have lots of ideas for different types of templates and books and things to make in the future. That's the problem sometimes, is having lots of ideas, but just not having the time to make them a reality. But eventually we'll get there, right? We'll get there. So digital templates. Another thing I want to mention is my 2021 Week in the Life. So my Week in the Life from 2 years ago is the only Week in the Life project that is currently unfinished. It's not even started. It is, I have photos in the cloud, and I have journaling on paper, like not even journaling. I have notes on paper. I have ephemera in a baggie, and that's it. That's my 2021. So I was recently talking with my Patreon group, which we'll talk about next after this. I was talking to my Patreon group about potentially doing a Week in the Life boot camp over the summer, picking a week maybe in the month of July to host a couple of Zooms and work together on our Week in the Life projects from the past to see if we can finish an album together in the span of a week or maybe even 2 weeks. So if that's something you're interested in, I will be sure to mention it, to maybe do another one of these little update videos in July, the beginning of July, to let you know if that's something that we are for sure going to do. And then you can hop in and join us for that month and work on some older, or even if you did this year and you haven't finished it yet, to just have some accountability, some company while you work through your Week in the Life projects as well. Okay, last thing for project updates before we talk about Patreon, and that is journals. So in terms of the journals that I'm working on, I'm really finding myself very much drawn to the journals at this point. And by journals, I mean like daily journals, a daily planner, weekly planners. I've always been a very organized and planner-ish type of person. I just love that. It makes me feel more secure about myself and my life when I have things organized. I think it probably makes everybody feel that way, but I won't speak for everybody. Maybe not. So, you know that I create my daily journal because I share that here, and I also share that on Instagram. that's pretty much it. Here and Instagram, I share that journal with all of you. But that is not the only one that I use. I actually am a big proponent of the Passion Planner Daily Planner and the Passion Planner Weekly Planner. I use both together. And I am currently working on putting together a reference journal, or as some call, a long-term collections journal. And then I've got ideas, plans to create a yearly collections. So that would be any kind of tracker or information that is pertinent to one specific year of time. And I have a reading journal that I would like to create. So I wanted to pose this question here and ask you if that is something that you might be interested in seeing. Some of it probably really, I'm trying to think if any of it would be something I would process video for you. I'm not sure. I could definitely share flip throughs and some information about how I'm using them, especially once I get the reference journal in a better place where I have more pages created. We could flip through it and I could explain what my reference journal is. Same with the yearly collections journal. The reading journal could maybe be a process if that's something that you find intriguing, or if you wanted to see me do like a week of planning, so maybe like plan together a week of planning type of video with the Passion Planner daily weekly system, then maybe that's something I could share with you. I want to pose it out there though and just gauge your interest to see if that's something that you would be interested in seeing here on this specific channel or not. Because really, either way, it's fine. It's the system that I use, so it's not going to change whether I do it or not. It's just mostly like, is this something that you would be interested in seeing, and to what extent? And, you know, question. Do you want to see that kind of video? I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to you. Okay, last but not least is Patreon. I haven't really done any kind of like true, Patreon, what do I want to say, like marketing type of video on here. I probably should, just to have something so that if people are curious what it is, then it's an easy find. But because I haven't really talked much about it, besides telling you when certain things are available to be seen on Patreon, I figured I could tell you now. Because now with all of these big changes happening and I'm showing up in other places less, you might be curious about where it is that you can still find me. And Patreon is one of those places that is not changing. It's a place where you can find me. We can be in community together, because that's really the basis of what it is. Patreon is my membership community site. It is where members join. I only have one tier in my Patreon, so it's a $5 per month membership. For the $5, you get events 2 days of the week. So every Monday, I host what I call my Monday coffee hour. This is basically my lunch hour break, where I just spend the hour on Zoom with the community members who are able to attend, and we chit chat. We have our lunch together, we drink coffee together, and we talk about life. Generally in the coffee hour, I get to everybody who has their screen turned on. So if the video is turned on, I know that you're willing to talk to me. But we have lots of people who come to the Monday coffee hours and keep their videos and their mics off and just listen in and just use it as almost like a podcasty type of episode, which is totally cool, or only participate in the chat, which is also totally cool. There's no participation is not a requirement of coming to the meeting. But for those who come and turn their video on, it is a chance for me to get to know my members on a more personal level. We talk about life, what's happening with ourselves, our spouses, our kids, our families, the things that we're going to, and then always, we're talking about crafting, because that is what brought us all together, is what is it that we are working on? What stories are we telling? Where are we really, like, what are projects we're really excited about or proud of? What are things that we're struggling with, ideas that others might have for us? We talk about organization of our crafty stuff. It's a really good opportunity for me and for those who are in the group to just be in community with each other and get to know each other on a deeper, more personal level. It's one of my favorite things of the whole week, is this chance to just be amongst other crafty friends. So that happens every Monday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., there is an event, a crafty event. And it changes based on the week. The first week of the month, we do a crafty Zoom where everybody comes on. It's kind of like the Monday coffee hour, but it's a little bit less structured, a little bit more, we're all just working on projects and hanging out together at the same time. The second and the fourth Thursday of the month are live crafting sessions. So for those, that is me live sharing my desk as I work through projects with you. Generally, in moving forward, they're going to be inside of my 2023 yearbook. So when you see the flip throughs here on YouTube, I'll make mention, hey, this was in a Patreon live. And then you'll know that's where that video was for the actual process of putting together that page. So that happens on the second and the fourth Thursday. And the third Thursday, we do a book club. At the beginning of the year, we select 12 different books. This year, we did 12 books in 12 different genres. So I believe the month of May, which is what we're in right now, our book genre is magical realism. Next month in June, our, I think it's contemporary literature. I can't totally remember June. I know July is a graphic novel. So we try to change up the genres, and the book discussions that we have on our Thursday night book club nights are just amazing. I love book club because it helps me to think about books in completely different ways and to just really dive in deep to the things that we're reading. Again, lots of people come to those events and leave their camera and their mics off to just listen in, and then others come and participate in the discussion. There's, again, no right or wrong way to participate in any of the live events that happen over on Patreon. In addition to those 2 nights, also one night, one Tuesday every month, my sister-in-law go live together and we do a scrap lift challenge where we pick one layout from the community, most of the time from our own Patreon community, but sometimes from the community at large. And both of us scrap lift the exact same layout using our own supplies and our own stories. And then we encourage the rest of our community to scrap lift the exact same layout using their own supplies and their own stories, and then to share those in a shared file so everybody can see all the different inspiration. It's so fun to see how all of that comes together each month. So that's generally what Patreon is. There are other perks associated too. You can learn more by clicking on the link down in the description below. But I wanted to pose that here because if you are, number one, if you're looking for a place to connect with other like-minded crafters, it is a really, really great group of people. It is, these women and men are just incredibly supportive and kind and open, and it's just really, I just can't stress it enough. If you're looking for a community of really awesome, like-minded, crafty people, definitely consider joining or at least trying it out for a month and just seeing what you think. Also, if you're looking for a place for where you can connect with me, either on a more personal or, a deeper level, or to just see more of what I'm making and see more videos of me putting stuff together, if you enjoy the longer format videos, then I also would recommend checking it out because that's primarily where I'm going to be moving forward. Aside from that, I will still be here on YouTube. I will still post to Instagram on the occasion. You're probably going to see more like photos of my family and my life showing up on Instagram and less, just layouts. It'll be a mix of the two, but I will still be there. And I will still be inside of that one little word, classroom. So you don't have to be in Patreon to find me. I'm other places too. That's just another option if you're looking for even more connection. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's really all I had to talk to you about, which I say that like it wasn't a lot, but that was a lot. That was a lot. So this month, I'm posting this the first Friday of May. I apologize for the lack of Friday videos in the weeks past, but now you know why that has been that way. This month, I have my March 2023 yearbook pages to share. So that will be coming. I have my May setup to share. And then I also am going to have my April 2023 and my June setup. Whether I'm able to squeeze those in this month or they might have to end up being in June, that remains to be seen. I'm hoping to get all of that squeezed in this month so we can be back on track starting in the month of June. We'll see how it all goes. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed for me. But definitely you will see March and you will see May's daily journal. All right, friends, if you have questions, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments down below and I will get back to you on any and all of it. As always, thanks for being here. You guys rock. You are the reason I continue to do this. You are the reason I continue to show up. Because the friendships and the connections that I have formed with so many of you in this community just mean the world to me. So thank you for being here. Thank you as always for your support. I look forward to continuing to build connection and relationships with you into the future. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends.